Do business, act business. Business
The world today obviously is going digital, and this includes the banking sector as well. However, in terms of closing the last mile, of course, the bridge and the gap that financial inclusion as a subject needs to be addressed is one of the major concerns, especially from policy angle to business angles, as well as exploring what exactly can be done in order for us to have as many people in this country who would definitely be co-opted into the formal banking sector. This and many more is what we're going to be exploring on the program today. This is Business Matters. My name is Stephen Ipalabo Lawson. You're welcome.
Business Matters. Let's talk business. Business Matters.
The informal sector, obviously a lot of people have argued, definitely maintain the economy of this country. However, a lot of the informal sector players are not part of the organized financial system. How central bank, through its policy, which is cashless policy, to now what we are dealing with in terms of e-banking and e-payment, has actually rolled out some of those policy, will determine if truly Nigeria will become a digital aware and a digital compliant nation. Let us have a business update.
Business Matters.
It's a culture on Business Matter where we invite a distinguished professional who will help us do justice to the topic of the day. And today, joining me in the studio is no other person than the present serving national president of the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria, Ammban. He's a certified digital financial services analyst who also served as a member of the Agent Network COVID-19 Response Working Group here in Nigeria. He has worked closely with several MMOs as well as fintech and financial institutions in developing DFS, which obviously is digital financial services products for as many different segments of the market. He's currently part of the federal government team that is led by the Ministry of Budget and National Planning in collaborating with the National Social Investment Office in developing a 5-year social investment roadmap for Nigeria. He has a background in international relations as well as development studies. He's no other person than the present managing director of Credit Meme Holdings Limited. I'm talking about Mr. Victor Olojo. How are you, sir?
Pleased to meet you.
It's a great honor to have you here on Business Matter. I mean, we're looking at agency banking, impact and opportunities for financial inclusion. And we know that financial inclusion has not just become a buzzword. I mean, you have a background in development studies, and we know how important and how concerned it is for us to be able to explore those digital financial services to help bridge the gap, especially for financial inclusion. What is your overall view of where we are when it comes to this issue of financial inclusion?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, again, a pleasure having me here.
You're welcome.
I'm happy you've been part of us for quite some time now. And the first thing I'd like to mention is that we've come quite a long way. We're happy to see the results we are seeing right now in financial inclusion. We are not where we desire to be yet, but we believe that we're on a journey, and it's just a matter of time we'll get there. Yeah, so regarding financial inclusion in Nigeria, I mean, it's been almost a decade now, since the CBN actually released the framework for financial inclusion and financial players. So far, before now, what was the situation was that we had more Nigerians who were not knowledgeable about mobile money or agency banking. When you ask them, they don't know what it means. You know, we are now in an era where more and more people are being captured in the brackets. We have more people who are a lot more comfortable using, mobile money agents, bank agents, rather than walking to the bank. As a matter of fact, there are so many gains. I mean, gains like employment. Many people have been able to find a means of livelihood.
As a matter of fact, during the COVID in
Yeah.
2020,
Yeah.
I think the agent bankers or the e-payment platforms were very strategic in helping to even address or deliver the palliatives that a lot of Nigerians.
Absolutely.
I mean, you served in one of those teams on one of those boards, so
Yes.
you have a better understanding.
Yes, I mean, big kudos to the government for actually recognizing mobile money and bank agents as essential workers. At that time, only those who were tagged or labeled essential workers, were allowed to go about. And I mean, cash was really a very important, aside the palliatives, that the government was also, So, I mean, we played very pivotal role. I mean, after that period, in fact, the COVID era, the lockdown period, made Nigerians embrace more of POS agents, mobile money operators, and bank agents, because the banks were not working for those periods. And those who they could rely or count on were the, mobile money, POS operators, and the like. So, I mean, so many Nigerians can't count the last time or can't remember the last time they visited the banking or for withdrawals.
True.
So these are the many gains.
And I know we look at some of this issue in terms of this impact, but a lot of people may not know what exactly is mobile money or agent banking. I know on the streets of Lagos, of Abuja, of Port Harcourt, of Kano, of Kaduna, you go around, you see those people with the POS.
Yeah.
Is that what agent banking is about? Is that mobile money, as the case might be? You want to expatiate for us?
Yeah, so in a layman's term, I mean, excuse me. Yeah, so mobile money or agency banking, as you would see, is just a means of an agent, financially saving, the populace, and I would break that down. So, you see, if you see a POS operator or a mobile money agent or a bank agent, they are actually representing a bigger financial institution, who in this case is the principal to that agent. So
Majorly the banks.
Majorly the banks.
It could also be the insurance companies. It could be the
mobile money operators, the
okay.
super agents,
okay.
the Fintechs. So ideally, the idea behind mobile money, agency banking, POS operator, the idea behind it is financial inclusion.
True.
So what is financial inclusion? Financial inclusion is just a possibility of making people included into the financial system. It's very simple. I mean, it's on record by research, looking back to history, having access to financial products, be it savings, credit, investment, pension, insurance, has made life better. It's a very veritable tool of getting people out of poverty.
I sometimes wonder, a lot of people are concerned about fraud. You see some of this fraud messages that comes into and they want to identify that with POS operators or agent bankers. And then the police, as a matter of fact, seem not to have a better understanding. Even some of the workers in the bank. How can you help us clarify this? And of course, communicate to the security personnel or industry out there to let them understand that agent bankers are not fraudsters. They are obviously part of the financial system.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for highlighting that. That's very important. I mean, the issue of fraud, security, and the likes as it concerns mobile money and agency banking is hydra-headed. I mean, it has several heads. I mean, so if you look at it from the aspect of, there are issues of identity theft.
Okay.
There are issues of in-house collusion. I mean, from the financial institution, it could be internal fraud. I mean, there are issues of complexity from the card holder. I mean, not being able to protect your PIN, giving out, divulging your information. I mean, several other. And there's also the aspect of the police. I mean, when we started about 3-4 years ago, it was way more difficult than we're experiencing now. I mean, we had issues of police harassment, but right now the police are getting to understand because we're also serving them. They're now seeing the benefits. In fact, the police has their own mobile app now for banking.
Wow.
They have
Wow.
agents because
Wow.
the police has
I
a
know
microfinance
that.
bank.
Yeah, yes.
You know,
That's
so
what I
through
was
that
going to say.
microfinance bank,
True.
at some point, they approached us to say, okay, we'd like to also have agents work for us. So they are beginning to see the need.
Are the
Because-
agents police people? Police,
of
the wives of police? I mean, as
you know,
the case might be, how it
exactly.
works.
So there are cases where we have, you know, spouses of police who are also into the business. More so, we have police formations spread across the country. And don't forget that many of these formations don't even have bank presence in these places.
True.
So they would need to rely on mobile money and bank agents, PS operator, for times of withdrawal of salaries, when they need their financial needs and all of that, you know. So the benefit actually is all encompassing. But there is an issue where the system needs to be totally carried along. It means the police needs to be well informed. The issue we are currently dealing with right now is to see that the trust in the system is not violated. So how do I mean by that? Nigerians must ensure that the belief they have in mobile money and POS operators, you know, is not breached. You know, so what happens usually is if someone calls me to say, I have your BVN, send me your account, people are quick to say, it was the last POS operator you used that has hacked into your account, and in most cases, that's not the case.
True.
I mean, we're having a lot of such situations right now.
Yeah, because sometimes some of the challenges that I also oftentimes come across in terms of what exactly is the commission charge for withdrawal for 5,000, for 10,000, is there a standard across the industry, or that is just dependent on the POS operator?
Oh, good. So, I mean, that's a very critical question as regards charges, to say, okay, who bears the costs? And there are several things that comes into play. I mean, before now, when we just started this whole mobile money and agency banking thing, the thing about cost, who bears, why should the customers, those who are trying to bring into the system, why
True.
should they bear the costs of this? So,
Please, I'm going to pause you.
Okay.
We're going to go on a short break. As soon as I come back,
All
we'll
right.
continue this conversation, then ask also with regards to what investment opportunities the agent banking obviously offers to us. Well, viewers, please stay tuned. After this short break, we will continue the conversation on cost as well as opportunities.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more.
Thank you. If you've just joined us, this is Business Matters, and in the studio with me is the president of Ammban, that is the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria. Is also the MD of Credit Me Holdings Limited, and we're looking at the topic agent banking, impact and opportunities for financial inclusion. All right, Mr. Victor Olojo. Before we went on that short break, we were looking at costs. Who bears the cost in terms of, because part of the essence that I see that if I'm going to go to a POS operator, I will know agent banking is very critical element in helping us to close the gap in financial inclusion. And I say I want to withdraw 10,000. When I go to my ATM, you know, I don't. For example, if it's the bank's ATM I'm carrying, I'm not charged the 20 naira or 10 naira, whatever it is, commission. I just simply get my 10,000. And but when I get to the POS operators, the man is either charging me 200 more or less. And I'm asking myself, that 200, if I add 200 in 5 places, that is 1,000. So what exactly is going on with regards to that aspect?
okay, yes, I mean, very critical. I totally agree with you. Very, very pivotal question. So there's cost of doing business, which you cannot take out. I mean, first and foremost, every POS operator, every POS agent out there is how to make profit.
True.
You know, so what in most cases, what comes to mind is number one, to be competitive. before now, where we're not so rampant. I mean, right now there's so much.
There is.
you
I
know,
mean,
everywhere
one point
you have,
before you go down
so
2 points.
the joy is that now market forces are making agents bring down the prices because of competition.
True.
So there are areas where the same 10,000 naira and 10,000 naira, the service charge is 200. There are some areas where the service charge is 100 naira because of competition and all of those. But before then, 3, 4, 5 years ago, it wasn't like that. Probably 10,000 was 300 naira. So what it means is as time goes on, these things will continue to come down. But aside that, I mean, the cost of doing business is high. Now, the cost of getting the cash. Now, part of what we've been advocating for in Nigeria is that there should be some form of recognition. So if I am an agent to a bank A, it means I should get some level of preferential services as soon as I walk into bank A. I shouldn't queue. I shouldn't beg to get certain amount of money.
True.
I mean, the charges that CBN has placed on withdrawals and all of those should be out of it because I'm helping achieve, the gains or the vision
as
of
a
the
matter
CBN,
of fact, Victor, some of the concerns that I also hear in terms of this agent banking space, because we know how important agent banking is. The banks themselves can't go into the hinterlands. They can't get into the rural areas.
Absolutely.
The informal sector is part of the drive we have to bring them into the formal sector. But then some of the bankers themselves, the staffs in the bank, are not even aware of how important or the relevance of agent banking is to the whole system.
I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Who are the bigger gainers? Who are the bigger gainers here?
Well,
are they the agent
so,
bankers?
Of course, the banks will
the
tell
banks?
you the agents are making more money. They take bulk of the commission. But the fact is, when the numbers at the end of when you see the numbers, the operators are the biggest gainers.
True.
So they do theirs in volume. I mean, at the end of the day, the agent serves averagely, I mean, a very profitable location. Let's say you have served about 100 customers a day, but the bank or the operator has done about 1 million transactions a day. Maybe in volume, in value, we're talking about hundreds of million or billion a day. But ultimately, I mean, it's a win-win thing.
No,
That's
I'm
what it is
not
right
going to
now.
let you go because of time without asking you. If today I embrace agent banking as another auxiliary business or a main business, do I end up becoming a millionaire?
Good question.
Because we need to look at the business opportunities. That
Not a shortcut, though.
No, not a
It
shortcut.
takes,
What exactly?
There's a growth process to
okay,
it.
so how does somebody avail himself or herself?
So there are
of
several levels to it right
Great.
now. I mean, we have agents. We have agents with multiple outlets. We have those who are aggregators. We have super agents and the likes. So it depends at what level at which you want to come in. But for a fact, I can tell you that we have millionaires and multi-millionaires. We have Nigerians who started from nothing. Today, they are landlords, homeowners. I mean, they've been able to go into other
from just having one or two POS
From
stands.
I mean, some have just one location and they are making it good. I mean, someone was telling me a testimony that she went to a particular market in Lagos and she went to buy, but she was just distracted because she saw people queuing. And the guy was making a whole lot of money. People coming. So once you have a good location, it makes it very easy. You make real good money.
So if I want to be an agent banker, the organizations that I have to register with, what do I need? Obviously, I have to register with the CAC. I also must have my businesses in proper structure and shape, and of course join associations like some of the association people like yourself represent. And definitely, if I have minimum capital with 100,000 and I have a good location, maybe in front of my house, would that be a good way to start?
Well, you see, the first principle is location. Not about convenience, but opportunity. So many people feel like, front of my house is convenient, but do you have the right mix there? So when I mean the mix, location in terms of, is it like a bus stop? Is it an area where people trunking through? Are you very visible? And all of that. So once you have all of this in place, I mean, you're good to go. Okay. Most important thing, get the right location, ensure you're in a secure place, and you just keep making money.
So do I necessarily have to be registered with CAC?
Yeah, so,
in order to have...
In terms of the framework laid down by the CBN. It states that you must be an existing business.
Okay.
So but right now you don't have to be registered with the CAC to as long as you have your BVN, your NIN, and all of those things.
And I have my POS machine, and you're traceable
you're in
and
a
all
location that is traceable, then you're good to go. It's just like opening a current account for yourself.
Okay, because the
you're
POS
traceable.
operators also help in terms of opening accounts. Do they also
Of
help in terms of
course, of
BVN
course.
registration?
NIN registration, the value chain is much. I mean, we're going to talk about the informal market. I mean, so the beyond cash in, cash out, which many Nigerians are aware of. Let me go and cash out money, let me go and deposit, let me go and withdraw. But beyond depositing and withdrawing, there's several other services and things you can render as an agent. I mean, micro insurance, micro pension, credit, just talk about anything financial. Anything financial, sir. An agent.
Does it include Ajo? I mean, Ajo
Yes,
is the
yes.
local
Absolutely,
language for
daily contribution, thrift, and all of that.
thrift and
Yes,
all that.
yes. We
Alright.
have many operators who offer these services to help Nigerians save. And at the end of the month, you're able to get something meaningful.
Now, how
back for
supportive
yourself.
has the CBN been, especially for people who are operating within this segment of the financial ecosystem, knowing the fact that they are very key players also in this whole agenda towards, because I know we had the FSS, the financial strategy document from the CBN some years ago. We also know that the CBN, I think through the office of the Deputy Governor, have actually rolled out different programs that are focused on women and women strategically, because there is a need for us to pull in as much women into the financial sector. People argue that the woman is a better money manager than the man. Of course, that is open to debate.
Yeah.
However, we know that the woman has an ability to be able to manage certain resources and all that. So we wonder how supporters are the CBN been to a lot of this whole concept.
Well, very. I mean, obviously, CBN is more like a regulator. So what they do is ensure that the environment is enabling, and they've done nothing short of that. I mean, they keep improving on these things. They keep improving, and thankfully, we just concluded our conference, and the DG was with the CBN Deputy Governor. Was there. She participated. I mean, they continue to work tirelessly in ensuring that the environment is open, there's fair play for investors, for those who want to play in the system. There is nothing as encouraging as that. So that they've been doing in terms of sensitization across the geopolitical zones. They've been doing all of those and ensuring that we have a very good.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Victor Olojo, the National President of Ammban, I want to say a big thank you. I mean, you've done a wonderful exposition for us with agency banking, impacts and opportunities for financial inclusion. And I hope perhaps in the future we can still extend this invitation. I want to say a big thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Viewers, please stay tuned. Business Matters continues after this brief moment.
Business matter. Let's talk business. Business matter.
Financial inclusion is a very critical aspect of our financial ecosystem. Nigeria today is known as the world's poverty capital, and this definitely does not have to be part of our identity. We know agent banking can also be the way through which we can take as many people out of poverty. This present administration is very concerned about that. And so through the CBN, they have rolled out all kinds of financial inclusion as well as e-payment and mobile money products and packages and initiatives of which agent banking is part of it. And there are huge opportunities. You want to take an advantage of that so that you can empower yourself as well as help the government close the gap of poverty. This is so much we can bring to you on this week's edition on Business Matters. Please follow us on all our social media handles and definitely explore our website where you can get more details of our different programs. My name is Stephen Ipalubo Lawson. Until I come your way again, bye-bye for now.